Hi, I saw an interesting news article this week. It was on the webpage of NPR, or National Public Radio, which broadcasts locally to most states in America. It picks up on the trend of wearing low-rider jeans or pants. This has become known as sagging. Already in parts of Louisiana, it has become law that if someone's boxers are showing, it's become a threat to the public. Their words, not mine. The style carries a fine of as much as $500 or a 6-month sentence. In the town of Delcambra, Mayor Carol Broussard said, "We used to wear long hair, but I don't think our trends were ever as bad as sagging." In Atlanta, City Councilman C.T. Martin has introduced legislation that would outlaw clothing that shows off underwear, be it boxers, thongs, sports bras or even bra straps. He said, "I don't think women should have to see that. I don't think young girls should have to see that. I don't think children should have to see that. It's not about putting anyone in jail, it's about trying to get some educational discussion about the future of young people. So any transgressors will only be fined." So that's okay then. Ryan Smith, an entertainment attorney, said, "This is no different than the miniskirts of the 1960s, no different than the midriff shirts we've seen recently. It's a fashion statement. We can't legislate what people are wearing. We can't say, you can't wear that because we don't agree with it." In this strange photo, it looks like one of his constituents is checking to see that CT's undies are not showing. Let's hope for Mr. Martin's sake that nobody starts a bill against silly hats. How did this fashion statement, for want of a better description, get started in the first place? Wearing low-slung, baggy or sagging trousers is thought to have begun in US prisons. Inmates were issued with ill-fitting clothes and denied belts in case they were used as weapons or as suicide aids. The low-slung look, together with visible underwear, reached the mainstream public in the 1990s when Calvin Klein used the look in an advertising campaign featuring singer Marky Mark, who's now the actor Mark Wahlberg. The sagging style found its way into popular culture following its adoption by rap artists such as Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne. Hip-hop artists such as LL Cool J also promoted the fashion with the launch of their own clothing labels such as Fat Farm, Echo and Fubu. The appearance became the uniform of street gangs in California and Latin America and continues to have influence on youth culture today, in both the US and the UK. Although it seems to be predominantly a young male thing, it has kind of crossed over to female fashion with the emergence of whale tailors, a derogatory name given to women who think that they're sexy with a thong dragged halfway up their back. So, back to the original piece and the idea that has been suggested to the collective mind of the Dallas City Council to use a different tack to persuade the kids to abandon their look. Deputy Mayor Dwayne Caraway has started a campaign that has a signature song, "Pull Your Pants Up" by Dooney the Priest, that links so-called sagging with being gay. This is not just a teenage problem, Caraway says. There are people sagging in their 30s. You know, where's your mind? You're not a teenager. Caraway called a news conference and proposed a new sagging ordinance. Unfortunately for Caraway, lawyers then called saying he was going against the Constitution. So Caraway backed off a bit on the legal front, but he didn't give up. Caraway says the #1 mission is very simple. Pulling up your pants, that's all we want. We don't want to throw folks in jail because they wear their pants low, so we're going to make it man's law and not city law. In his barber shop in South Dallas, a rapper named Dwayne Brown saw Caraway on TV. Brown is known as Dooney, and he suddenly hit on how he could utilise a new song that he'd written called "Pull Your Pants Up."
Yeah! What's up with it, bro? This Dooney, the street priest. Look here, this is a nationwide dance from my hood to your hood. It's called "Pull Your Pants Up." Hey! Pull your pants up. Hey! Pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, man. Pull your pants up. Pull your pants up. Hey! Pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, man. Pull your pants up. I'm the street priest. I'm not here to judge. This a letter to the streets talking to
Dooney says most of the boys and young men who are sagging don't know where it really comes from, but another word for sagging is jailing. They don't know why their pants are low, they think it's a fad or something to do, or because it's cool. And I say, well no, it's come from behind bars. Dooney explained that sagging comes from jail, where he argued that showing your boxers has a very particular meaning. You're letting another man know that you're available, Dooney said. Clear Channel has donated billboard space around town to Dooney, showing him with his arms crossed standing in front of downtown Dallas. Now, after this initial story ran, there were calls of complaints to the station saying that they thought that there were lines in the song which were homophobic. One listener, Andrew Jones, commented on a line about living on the down low, common slang for a man who has secret sexual encounters with another man. It's cute when homophobia is part of a citywide campaign, Jones wrote. Shaming the youth by calling them gay, love that from the government. An accompanying billboard says it's rude to be walking round showing your behind to other dudes. The song's refrain is be a real man, pull your pants up. Personally, I think it's a distasteful campaign trying to challenge the kids' sexuality by inferring that they're putting out for gay sex by showing their underwear. But realistically, I'm not sure just how successful this campaign might be anyway. Usually anything that's suggested by the powers that be is met with an opposite response. So if anything, they might reject the Deputy Mayor's plea even though it is backed by a local rapper. Although I am a gay man, I certainly don't see anything sexually alluring about somebody's pants dragging around their ankles, and I'm not sure if putting the idea of sagging as being a prison code for availability isn't just bending the truth a little to achieve a common aim. After all, if it works, the Dallas Council get the kids to pull up their pants, and the rapper gets to make a bunch of money from the sales of his masterpiece. Or maybe that's just me being cynical. I was kind of surprised to see these results in an online survey set by NBC. Out of 12,659 responses, the answers to the question, should saggy pants be banned? Yes, they're awful and sometimes indecent, came back with 59% of the vote, and no, legislating clothes is too much, only 41%. Maybe you have your own viewpoint on the whole subject of sagging, or maybe on the underhand way that Dallas sees fit to change what is basically just a bad fashion fad. Let me know either in a text or a video response. It'll be interesting to see what other YouTubers think about it. But I think I have the answer that will please everyone. The youngsters want to show off their pants. The oldsters want to promote truth, justice and the American way. Remind you of anyone? Yay, Superman! And if they all followed his lead, the kids could wear their undies on the outside and be hailed as patriotic, modern-day heroes.
You walk the streets with your pants way down low. I don't know, looks to me you on the down low. Some of y'all think it's gangster to show you back. On behalf of real men, we ain't feeling that. We don't understand, man, cause it shocks us. Can you make us understand why you show your box up? But if you stand up straight, bet your pants off.